am always 2 steps ahead. All these unwell, unbalanced, disoriented beings roam the internet in search of conflict, of rivalries, where people develop a distinctive desire for direct engagement.
The debate will begin momentarily. For now, we're going to play my marble game. Marble It Up Ultra. My voice is incredibly shot, and I hope it's from, being at the club the other night. But I might be sick. We're going to be monitoring that situation. I really hope I'm not sick, dude. That would suck. My throat's completely shot, yeah. So, just going to go with the flow. Focus on flow. And in about 15-20 minutes, I'll be ready to call our guest. Our guest being a random Twitter conservative who thinks he can bring the smoke. We're going to see if he can. Spoiler alert, I don't think he can. But we're going to see. Maybe he'll surprise me. Maybe we have the next Ben Shabibo on our hands, and maybe he's 21. Yeah, politics is my favorite video game too. See, I have that set as the category on Twitch so people know that it's coming. Oh, it's coming. So this person, they had replied to me on Twitter, which they call X, just to give you an idea of the caliber of intellectual that we're going to be talking to today. They were commenting on something I had said about Russell Brand, who, as we all know, is a serial rapist. And he said something along the lines of, hey, not all conservatives are supporting Russell Brand. We don't all support sex pests. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little convo about that. We might talk about trans rights a bit. And we're just going to, see how this goes. I have some things to say to this man. And I think it's going to be interesting. Special occasion. In case you don't know, today, it's my first debate. I've never actually done an online, voice debate like this. Not about politics, anyway. So we're going to see, I'm pretty confident in my abilities. I have a good memory. I have good pattern recognition. I have a lot of skills that I've acquired through my long autism. I don't know if he thinks that I'm going to do a bad job, but I'll tell you this much. I remember things very well, and I have good sources, and I have, I have things that I'm prepared. I think I'm well prepared. I think I'm a good speaker. I'm good with my words. And we're just going to hope for the best, right? It's my first time doing this. I figured I'd go with somebody just... They were trying to come at me on Twitter, and I was like, you know what? What we're going to do... Ember, who is your favorite Republican sex pest? I don't know. It might be this guy. We don't know yet. He might say something sus. You never know. He might say something interesting. Maybe he's of the libertarian variety. No, in all honesty, I think it might be Alex Jones. He's into some freaky shit, even if we don't see it.
I'll eat your ass. I will eat your ass.
Thank you for giving me the image of Alex Jones BDSM. Oh, he's into some freaky shit, dude. You just know. I wonder if this guy will defend Alex, dude. That'd be so funny. Again, I haven't talked to him. I don't know. I went through his Twitter account a little bit just so I'd be prepared, but I have no idea. We could end up with somebody who's ready to break Twitch TOS. I hope that doesn't happen, but if it does, Twitch, if you're listening, it's not my fault. I'm a good streamer. I do not break the rules. Whoa! I took like 2 edibles, so I'm not going to stick around when the chud shows up because of the vibes. I mean, listen, Genevieve, it might be funny. It might genuinely be hilarious. If you might get a kick out of watching me take this person down. I don't think you know, but K-Lam knows a little bit. I actually am skilled with my words in these situations. I haven't done it on stream. So we might be in for a treat. We might be in for something really, really funny. Again, the original conversation with this person, we were talking about how we were going to set this up, and they were like, I want a moderator. I want to pick the moderator. It was like some weird shit. I was just like, yo, you may need one, but I promise you I don't. So if you really want to do this, don't be a pussy. We'll just talk. Like they were like, oh, we need a moderator. I was like, you need protection. You're scared? And they said something like, oh, you're going to try to bait me into anger. And I'm not going to fall for that. And my response was, if you're so easily baited into anger, then that sounds like a you problem. Facts over feelings, right? You would think that the conservatives with their logical brains would not be so easily baited into an angry shouting match. My voice is kind of sexy right now. I mean, it's not going to last very long, but I appreciate you saying that. It's either me screaming at the club, me having like a cold, or both. I'm not severely sick right now, and I hope that I don't get sick. Like, I hope it's just nothing. But if it is something, probably just a cold. Not the end of the world. Like a chest cold, which I can handle over like sick. Because I was just recently sick, and that was not fun, I'll tell you that. This is new, these little walls. My voice is sexier when I'm healthy? Well, yeah, because that's when you're happier. That's the thing. You're happy when I'm healthy, and so I appear to be hotter because your brain is getting that sweet, sweet dopamine from knowing that I'm healthy. Eventually, they did agree to my conditions. I just did a little call with them and just made sure, like, listen, it ain't going to be a shouting match. That's not what I'm interested in. I can't really shout right now anyways. But I am interested in picking this guy's brain apart. In the marketplace of ideas, of course. And I just want to see if they can, defend their beliefs and defend the people that they support and everything. I think this is going to be an interesting discussion. I'm not collecting mystery marbles. It takes too much brain power right now. I'm just having this played so, there's something on screen that's interesting while I debate the person. Something that's like low effort, that I can like focus on my words while I play it. I think this game is like perfect for that. These kind of marble games with like platformers and things. I think these are the types of games that I need to play more of when I'm like talking a lot on stream. I think this works great. Thank you for the follow, Bella. I appreciate it. That's very sweet, Bella20. Thank you. If you want to follow me elsewhere, you can go to the link at the bottom right, emberonmain.com. And all of my links will be there, including a link to my Discord server, which you can also join by always using the up-to-date invite link, which is join.emberonmain.com, if you're not already in my Discord server. I got that fancy URL thing going on. It's very nice. It's very convenient. Instead of, paying Discord for a custom invite link, I just have it set to my name. Man, I'm dying. Hopefully I don't cough too much during the debate. Then I'll lose for sure. The optics won't be on my side. Ready to go. Okay. All right, we're going to bring them in, folks.
God sends the angel of death, and he sends the angel of death with wrath.
I want to start with what kind of set this whole thing off, which is I had tweeted in a kind of hyperbolic statement that I stand by, that conservatives love sex predators. And you had come in and said, no, not all of us love sex predators. And listen, I'm more than willing to hear you out on that. That's why you're here. But I did go through your account before this debate just to, get familiar with you and the people you support and the things that you believe and how your ideology has changed over time. I did see that you're a fan of Matt Walsh. Is that true?
Partially, yeah. I mean, look, do I watch the show since it's been off YouTube now? I occasionally watch the show. I just find his sense of humor pretty funny, though.
I violate my kids' consent all the time. Yes, this is a sweet baby plush. You are not hallucinating?
I think that the funniest thing that he's done, at least in recent memory, was when he went on the record to say that 13-year-olds are pretty much adults and called the concept of adolescence a modern plague, and said that 17 and 18-year-old girls who are still in high school want biologically and metaphysically and with everything in their body to start a family. Now, do you agree with that statement from Matt Walsh, noted family values commentator?
Like I said, man, I'm not familiar that much with his work. I do like some of his tweets. I did used to listen to some of the episodes of his show. If you could link me that in a Twitter DM or this Discord, page. I'm not super familiar with Discord. I do apologize. But
yeah, I'm more than willing to link every kind of quote that I bring up during this debate. After
I'm glad to read it, and yeah, sure, I'm glad to read it and give you my commentary on the air about it.
But you're not super familiar with Matt Walsh's background.
Not super. Like I said, I used to listen to a show pretty regularly. I'd argue in 2021 when I started to become more conservative.
Yeah, because I do know you started out not very conservative. Because I saw a tweet where you were bringing up. I know that you're a black man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
actually, I'll be quite frank with you. I'm mixed race.
Yeah.
My dad's from Dominican
I would
Republic.
consider you black if you're mixed race.
Yeah, I'm the skin color that I look, and So
again, I'm just going based off of your own tweets. So there was something that you had said about like trans and non-binary people. You basically said like, you know, they're not actually marginalized. You put the word marginalized in quotes, implying that they weren't actually marginalized. Do you actually believe that?
Yep.
Okay, so in that same tweet, in that same tweet, you included black people as part of the not marginalized group. But in previous tweets on your account, you had brought up that as a mixed person, you would get like dirty looks from white people that made you uncomfortable, and you were calling out different types of accounts that were saying super racist things about black people. So I'm not sure if you forgot that racism was a thing. No. But I'm just like, do you consider black people a marginalized group in America at all?
Absolutely not. Not anymore. I used to be very progressive, very liberal, and projected a lot of my experiences onto the experiences of others.
Okay, but if your experience was being, you know, stared at to the point of discomfort by racists, then that seems to me like a form of marginalization, right? I don't think white people necessarily get that in most situations. I know that I've never been stared at because of my skin color. I've never felt uncomfortable because of it.
Again, I was very delusional and very brainwashed back then, you know, and I projected my experiences onto the experiences of countless other people.
And so, like, what are your current views on race? Like, how do you view, like, the Black Lives Matter movement and things like that?
Sure. Yeah. I don't care what race you are, you know, I really don't. But simply, the Black Lives Matter movement is a sham. 100%. I would stand by that.
Now, as a leftist, I do agree with you that there were certain organizations within the Black Lives Matter movement, like the Black Lives Matter organization, that, you know, there are people in charge in a lot of these organizations. I would say the same thing about the Human Rights Campaign for queer people, that, you know, they can be corrupted and they can be self-interested and take money for themselves and this and that. I know that in 2016, when the Human Rights Campaign endorsed Hillary over Bernie, I was very, very pissed because Bernie Sanders has had a record of standing for LGBT people over a long career, and Hillary Clinton kind of jumped on the bandwagon later, and yet the Human Rights Campaign endorsed her over Bernie Sanders, who had a better record on LGBT rights. So I know that these organizations can become corrupted, especially when they're like in the weeds in DC. And so like the Black Lives Matter organization, I'm not a huge fan, but there is, you know, there's the organization Black Lives Matter, and then there's the movement, which just says, hey, Black Lives Matter, and right now we don't think that they're being treated as if they do. Specifically by police officers around the country, but also in other situations. And so I'm just wondering where you stand on the actual movement, not the organization.
Oh, yeah, sure. So overall, are you particularly talking about George Floyd or just in general?
I mean, that's kind of what set all of the, you know, modern Black Lives Matter movement off. So I would say, yeah, you could talk about George Floyd a bit if you want to.
So yeah, my opinion is actions have consequences, and sometimes they're not the consequences you expect. George Floyd was not innocent. I believe he was selling, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe he was selling Lucy's on the street, or he had a criminal record. Do I believe black people should be killed over selling, drugs on the street? No, I believe in our court system, right, and how things are structured in America. But yeah, actions do have consequences, and they may not be the consequences that you expect. It's really what I believe,
Okay, so...
And I could give you a recent example of what happened to me recently with a cop,
All right, but, okay, do you consider yourself pro-life?
Yes.
So you're an anti-choice conservative?
You could argue that, sure.
Okay, so do you believe in the death penalty?
Depends what... No. I'd argue no.
Okay,
no.
You don't believe in the death penalty?
No, I had to think about that, but no, I really don't. I don't see
Okay,
a
but you
reason
support
for it,
candidates who
frankly.
do.
Which candidates?
People like Ron DeSantis
Just
support the death
because I
penalty.
support them. Okay, just because I support Ron DeSantis doesn't mean I necessarily support every single policy he has.
Yeah, but that's a pretty big policy.
You
If you
support
consider
every-
yourself
okay,
pro-life, I know that a lot of
but
people
who-
who consider themselves pro-life consider that a very important component of who they are. And if you're supporting someone who's willing
sure.
to murder people with the state power of the state, I feel like that's pretty bad. Especially because, over 2% of people on death row are innocent.
Can I ask you something? Who do you support politically with this upcoming election?
With this upcoming election, I believe that Joe Biden is the lesser evil. I'm not a big Joe Biden fan. I'm a leftist,
Right.
so I've never really been a big fan of his
Sure.
moderate policies and moderate politics, and his way of doing things I've always disagreed with. But as far as, who I believe will do the least harm and the most good, I believe that Joe Biden has proven himself to be a good pro-labor president. He's the most pro-labor president in my lifetime, and probably since FDR. I believe that, he's good on queer rights versus basically the entire Republican Party has become obsessed with girl dick. There's just this I'm not a fan of the Democratic Party, but if you're going to put it down to a Republican versus Democrat, 9 times out of 10 I'm going to take.
No, that's not what I'm
Democrat.
trying to do. I'm simply asking, right, that there are things with Joe Biden that you don't agree with, right?
Yes,
Just like I don't agree with. There are things that Ron DeSantis does that says that I don't agree with.
But
right?
I don't call myself a
that's
Joe
what I'm trying to
Biden
get to.
supporter. That's the difference. I don't call myself a supporter of the party or his politics. I don't say, hey, I'm a supporter of this person. I say I'm going to vote for this person because they're the lesser evil. But I'm wondering what policies specifically do you believe make Ron DeSantis the lesser evil?
When have I said though that I support that I'm in full support of Ron DeSantis? I said I typically.
Well, it's not full support, but I do wonder. Okay,
I'll
I'll phrase it better.
Yeah.
What policy specifically? Because
Sure.
I'm all about policy. What policy specifically do you support of Ron DeSantis?
Particularly his views on the LGBTQ community, not letting corporations get away with indoctrination. I think that's a big one for me. And those are the core of it.
So those,
I think there are a lot.
your main focus is really on issues that fundamentally most people's lives aren't affected by.
And pro-life and
But he's pro the death
you can
penalty, so
maybe
I would not
argue that.
consider him pro-life. If he's in
I don't
favor of
really
the death
fully agree
penalty
with
and
that.
against universal health care, I don't think he's
What did,
pro-life. I think he's
what did-
anti-choice.
Okay, so what did the innocent life do, right? That hasn't necessarily been born yet. That's in the process of being conceived. What did that innocent life do? Did it
I'm not saying they did anything.
Is it-
I'm saying that before they gain consciousness, I don't believe that they're, fully a person. They're a clump of cells.
Yeah, man.
I agree with Roe v.
Right,
Wade.
yeah,
I agree with, before the nervous system has developed, that it's up to the mother and it's up to her to make a choice or their choice for their body, and after that, then you can talk about states legislating based on life of the mother, cases of rape, birth defects, etc. There's a lot of variance after a certain point of development with the fetus, but
Well, look, I don't play for my team. You are 100% allowed to have the opinions that you have. I would never take that away from you.
yeah, but we're
I'm not one
debating.
of these
So.
conservatives, right? Yeah, sure. No, I'm just simply stating that you have every right to feel the way you want to feel, and I have every right to feel the way I want to feel, and I appreciate us having a civilized debate. Just want to state that, meet that as a statement.
Yeah, that's fine. again, when you ask me, like, what did that innocent baby do? I don't think they're fully a baby, so I can't really answer that. I don't think they can make any choice because, you know, their nervous system hasn't even developed yet, so they're not conscious. But as far as, you know, what I think is a worse situation, like there's the old saying, you know, if you have a burning building full of, you know, embryos and, you know, alive people, who are you going to save? You're going to save the alive people, right?
Well, the alive people would be carrying that embryo, correct?
No. You have separate entities. You'll have, you know, not fully developed fetuses. You have the ability to save them, and then you have the ability to save people who have already been born. Which do you choose? I think most normal people you ask on the street, they're going to say, oh, I'm going to save the actual, like, you know, human beings that have been born already.
This is a very specific situation that you're using, right?
Yes, it's specific, but I'm asking it for a purpose. I'm saying that because the argument I'm making is that if you're in favor of the death penalty, which kills innocent people who have already been born, then I don't think you can consider yourself pro-life. In the same way that I think more harm is being done to people by not supporting universal health care, because tens of thousands of people die every year because they don't have access to basic health care. And people like Ron DeSantis.
So I'm in favor of universal health care, actually.
Then why do you support a Republican?
I'm 100% in favor of. Just because I support a Republican doesn't mean I have independent beliefs.
But your independent beliefs on LGBT rights, which only affect a subset of people in a negative way, that outweighs your belief in universal health care for everyone?
It depends on the context, right? Because I'm pro universal health care for everyone, but am I pro giving adults hormone replacement therapy? No.
You're not in favor of adults being able to make choices for their own bodies?
I think if it's harmful for them in an overall healthy society, yeah.
Okay, but we allow adults to drink. Are you against? Are you in favor of like banning alcohol? Alcohol kills a lot more people than trans healthcare does.
That is much different.
But it kills more people. You're absolutely right. It is different. It does more harm having alcohol be legal. I'm in favor of it being legal, but it does more harm than trans healthcare. I listen, I can give you the stats. Alcohol has killed more people through drunk driving than something like, you know, trans healthcare.
Please send it to me via Discord, please.
Send it to you. Okay, no, listen.
Yeah.
I'll absolutely send it to you, but I promise you, drunk driving kills more people than trans healthcare. There are more drunk drivers on the road than trans people.
I need statistics. That's how I am. I'm statistics.
You need statistics? Okay, I can go to the leading cause of death. Just give me one moment, please.
Sure.
This is a very interesting hill to die on, but you know, I'll give you the numbers. Drunk driving fatalities in the U.S. each year. In 2021, over 13,000 people died in alcohol-impaired driving traffic deaths.
Right.
Okay? That's one person every 39 minutes. Do you believe, in your heart of hearts, that trans healthcare is killing more people than that?
Okay, whoa.
You asked me to find you a source.
Right. Yes.
This is from the NHTSA.gov.
But you asked, but if I'm remembering correctly, you asked me a question of when do I think trans lives, you know, no, like my opinion on trans issues is that, hormone replacement therapy should be illegal. Any kind of mutilating of the body should be illegal.
But why?
Does it? Simply because it makes for a weaker society. We're telling men that they could be women and women that could be men. Men need to be masculine and strong. Women need to be feminine and nurturing. Am I red-pilled? No. Am I an alpha male? No. As I mentioned yesterday to you, do I believe that, you know, women would be happier at home with children? Yes. But do I also believe they should work? Of course. So yeah, that's kind of how I look at that. You know, I'm not as...
Okay, but like objectively, because we're looking at statistics and you would ask me about statistics. Okay. I asked you, okay, do you, just yes or no, are you in favor of banning alcohol?
No.
You're not in favor of banning alcohol?
Because it's not destroying society in the way that...
okay, but I just told you that one kills more people than the other person, and you saying that you're pro-life, you must care about deaths over basically any other statistic, right?
I care about innocent children.
Yeah, I care about innocent children too. More innocent children are killed each year by drunk drivers than trans healthcare.
You never mentioned that. You never mentioned that in the statistic.
Okay, I can give you another statistic.
Yeah.
Are you going to answer for the first one though? If given the choice to save more lives by banning alcohol, which I'm not in favor of, by the way, and banning trans healthcare, which does not kill 13,000 people each year, then if what you find important is the deterioration of society, then like I feel like it, preventing those deaths would be more important to you, right?
Yeah, you bring a completely fair point, but like I said, I generally am concerned.
A little over 220 children
America.
ages 0 to 14 years old are killed in car crashes involving alcohol-impaired drivers each year. That's about 21% of traffic-related deaths among children.
What side are you sourcing?
That's from the CDC.gov. It's from the impaired driving section of the website.
Okay. Sure.
That's an actual statistic on like cause of death among children.
Right. The reality is that. Give me a second to think here. I'm a little bit of a slow thinker.
You're
so
good.
Just give me a second here. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I have till 1 a.m., man. I could lose a couple hours of sleep, so I'm willing to debate for up until then. My opinion on that is, it sucks. There's no other way of saying it, but I still stand my ground about trans issues.
Okay, but
I always will.
Okay, so
it's awful. It's awful. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, right?
But you have to have a
I do
basis to your belief. You have to have like, okay, this is why I believe what I believe, and you say, okay, I think that trans healthcare is harming society. But when I give you objective statistics on, how many people die each year from drunk driving, you don't say, oh, I want to ban alcohol. But when I tell you, hey, here's how many people, maybe detransition each year, and most of these people aren't dying, and then you also look at how many people are having their suicides prevented by HRT and things like that. It's saving more lives than something like alcohol, and yet you want to ban it.
See, here's the
and this
thing.
is among adults,
Those
by the way.
aren't-
I'm not even getting into the trans healthcare for youths. You said you wanted to ban it for adults, but then I ask you, you say,
Yeah,
I
for
want to ban
everyone.
all bodily mutilation. Do you want to ban tattoos and piercings? Like, where's your line here? Is it
Right,
just an
yeah.
obsession with girl cock?
sure.
Like,
No, man. Nothing like that. I'll tell you that for a fact. Yeah. So my opinion on tattoos is get tattoos. You're not harming anyone by getting tattoos.
Right.
Mutilating your body is way different than getting tattoos.
So,
Right?
okay, if somebody is an adult male, okay, and
Okay,
they're in America and they're not circumcised, right? But most men in America are circumcised, and they make a decision as an adult, hey, I'm going to go get circumcised because I think that aesthetically I want my penis to look like this, and I just want to fit in better with society, and I would feel more comfortable in my own skin if my dick was circumcised. Do you think that
I would
person
just
should
say-
have the
yeah.
ability to do that? Yes or no?
But I will answer that in a
An
second.
adult,
but
a
my
consenting
question is-
adult.
Sure. No. Yeah. But why the fuck would you want to? What's like?
I'm just asking. I'm saying, do you think that they should have the legal right to do that?
They want to, sure, but that's completely different
Okay.
from.
That's
pumping
bodily
yourself with
mutilation. I
hormones
hope
and,
you know.
That's different, though.
You're removing your
different,
foreskin. How is it different?
You're taking hormone replacement therapy, right? You're taking pills.
Yeah, that's something that's been around for a long
mutilate
time.
yourself. It's different. Yeah, but it's completely different. Completely different.
But how is it different? What I'm trying to figure out is you say you want to ban
Yeah.
it, and I'm trying to figure out what
Sure.
gives you, like, what about hormone replacement therapy is different from all these other things that I've listed that makes you think, oh, we need to ban this? Like, this is my top priority. Like, what is it about hormone replacement therapy
priority
that's
about
bothering
America,
you?
but it's a big part of it.
Well, you did list it as one of your top major issues, and you said that it was more important than things like, abolishing the death penalty and universal health care.
No, wait. When did I? I'm sorry. When did I just say that?
Well, I asked you if you support universal
never
health care. You said yes. And I said, well, why do you support Republicans? And you said, well, you know, I have priorities that are different, and I don't have to agree with them on everything. And then when I asked you, what are your major policies? Like, what are your top, you know, policy priorities?
Right.
And you said, well, I like DeSantis because of his stance on LGBT rights. You did say that. So, assuming that's a priority for you, I'm just trying to figure out why.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, overall, I just think it's creating a weaker society. I don't believe that.
But by
we should
what
be able to
metric?
be what we
Like,
wanna
what
be.
is like, you can say, I can say that, you know, your mom is making for a weaker society. It doesn't make it true. I need to have like facts to back that up.
Foreshadowing is a narrative device in which suggestions or warnings about events to come are dropped or planted.
What is it about trans
Well, look, man,
people and
I wasn't
LGBT
that-
people existing
yeah.
that makes for a weaker society
sure, yeah.
objectively? Like, what metrics do you have? What statistics do you have? Do you have anything to back up the
Sure,
statement
I wasn't,
that it's harming
I
society?
I was literally not given the time to prepare for this, just to be quite frank. I know it sounds like a cop-out, but I wasn't.
Well, I mean, when you're going to, you know, vote for somebody,
yeah.
you should have, you know, at least some semblance of what you,
Yeah, of course.
what you believe, what they
Yeah.
believe. You should try to, like, you know, figure those things
Yeah,
out.
I support DeSantis. It does mean that my opinion can't
So you do
change from
support
that.
DeSantis?
Not necessarily now.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Well, you just said you support
the tweet.
DeSantis just now.
I'm in somewhat support of him, yeah, but do I agree with every policy? No.
Okay, and I asked you
That
what
makes sense,
policies
yeah.
do you support him for, and you said LGBT stance, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
not the only thing, but yeah, sure.
it was the first thing you listed. I'm trying to figure out, again,
Right.
why this is such a sticking point for you. Why is, like, just please answer me this. Why do you want to ban the ability for adults specifically to transition? Because they're fully, you know, they should be able to control their own lives. I believe in liberty and freedom, you know, things that Republicans say they believe in, but, you know, it seems like you want to ban these things for consenting adults.
No, I think there are degrees to it. You know, I think it depends. You know, should we be able to say whatever we want? Yeah, sure. But there's a difference between saying whatever you want and doing whatever you want, right?
Well, I believe
in
you should be able to do
freedom,
whatever you want as long as it doesn't
oh,
negatively affect other people.
Right. You believe in freedom, but do you believe that someone should be able to go into a bar and shoot up a bunch of people?
I just said I believe that somebody should have the freedom to do what they want as long as it doesn't negatively impact other people. That's my stance. I'm a social libertarian, so I believe that as long as you're not harming another
Okay.
person, you should be able to do what you want with your body or
Okay.
with your with your
Sure.
own self. Like, you should be able to, you know, dress the way you want to dress as long as it's not affecting other people. You should be able to get tattoos and piercings.
See, that's what I don't
and
believe. No.
you don't
See,
believe
no.
that someone should be able to wear a shirt that they want to
no.
wear?
I think it depends. You know, if they're wearing a pink shirt, should guys be wearing pink shirts? Fuck no. Should women be wearing?
Okay, but why is that
you
so
know,
important to you? That's what I'm trying to ask you. How is that hurting you?
I think it's hurting society. It's hurting
How?
America. I think
You keep saying that, but I'm asking you, how
Right.
is it hurting America? How is it hurting society? And you haven't answered that.
Let me put it this way. I think if we were to go into a war, right, I think we'd be completely screwed because I think we're teaching men and women the wrong things. Do you mind if I ask exactly how far you went back? And not that I care, because if I had an issue with it, I would delete all of it, right? I'm not trying to hide my past, but notice how I didn't go into your Twitter history and pull up a bunch of stuff. It's none of my business.
Well, right now I'm
But-
just asking you
but
policy
somehow-
questions. I was just trying to figure out how you changed your
Oh.
mind on certain things, but I'm asking you policy questions.
But what
I
See,
delete a lot of my
to have a
tweets just
fair debate-
because of harassment and stuff. I don't.
Sure, and you don't deserve that. You
I've been a
whether
leftist
you're
since I got out of
trans,
high
gay,
school.
Whatever. Okay, yeah. So whether you're trans, gay, whatever, leftist, I don't care. I don't believe in harassment.
Okay.
You know, but at the same time, I look at it in the sense that it's the internet. Anyone can be anonymous and send you death threats or whatever. It doesn't mean it's okay. But that's the sad reality of it. I know you're primarily known for leaks, right? I remember the No Way Home leaks. Am I correct?
Yeah,
on that?
it's funny
Remember No
because
Way
I've
Home
had an internet presence
Sure.
since before No Way Home, but that did get me a lot of my following. But right now I'm very much
Okay.
just focused on furthering leftist priorities. I think that, there's a lot of systemic issues that affect me and people that I love that need to be resolved.
How far, like I said, I'm not trying to hide anything, but how far back did you go into my Twitter? Just out of pure curiosity, 'cause it's been there since.
I didn't like continuously scroll. I searched key terms related to politics so I could know what you believed, before I got into this.
Sure. Yeah. Believe what you want to believe in. That's all I can say. But
okay, but I'm asking you. Again, I will ask you again.
Sure.
What is it about trans people existing that is hurting society? What is it about men wearing pink?
I've said several times
that's hurting society.
It's because it's making society weaker.
But
I'm
how?
pretty sure I've said that already.
You have said that, but how is it making society weaker? Like, what do you have any statistics?
Because we're
to back
telling
that
men. Well, hang on. We're telling men that it's okay to be men, or it's okay to be women. We're telling women it's okay to be men. Wait, hang on. Women, it's okay to be men, right?
If it makes them more comfortable in their own skin and less likely to kill themselves, then yes. And it does, objectively.
I've in my own life, I've never seen that, right?
You're saying you've never met a trans person in real life?
Yes, I have. Yes, I've totally met. And when I was a leftist, right, I was friends with trans people, and I could guarantee if they weren't trans, they would be just as normal. It'd be just as normal. I have no doubt about that.
Then okay, why do you think that people transition?
I don't. A lot of conservatives will say indoctrination. I don't necessarily.
Well, trans people have been
I
around for thousands of years, so that's total horseshit.
No.
Absolutely. I can go back to ages before the internet that trans people have existed for a very long time.
I just literally, it's impossible that was the case. It's just.
You're
impossible.
saying it's impossible that trans people existed before the internet?
No. I'm saying.
When do you think they came about?
Existed. I'd say if I had to guess, the 90s.
The 90s?
Yeah. 90s or 80s, yeah.
The 1990s? So right now I have a article on screen from 1952. December of 1952. It says XGI becomes blonde beauty. Now this is about somebody named Christine Jorgensen. She was an American trans woman. She was the first person in the U.S. to get sex reassignment surgery, which was a relatively new procedure. And trans people existed before this, but this is the first person who actually got a surgery to transition. This is not the 90s or the 80s or the 70s or the 60s. This is from the 50s. So I'm not sure where you got the idea that trans people didn't exist until like the 90s, but it's completely untrue. We have objective proof that trans surgery has existed in the United States since at least the 50s.
But what website are you getting this from? Where the first person that got a medical transition was in the 1950s? That's
this is common knowledge. Christine
Jorgensen
Jorgensen is very well known as being the first transgender woman to receive sex reassignment surgery in the U.S.
A lot of misinformation on the internet. Never heard of them.
You think this is misinformation? I have a picture of her on screen right now. There's many, many pictures of her. She has a whole Wikipedia page. Christine Jorgensen was an American actress, singer, recording artist, and transgender activist. A trans woman, she was the first person to become widely known in the United States for having sex reassignment surgery. In 1945, she was drafted into the U.S. Army during World War II. After she served as a military clerical worker, there you go, a trans person in the military doing good work, Jorgensen attended several schools and worked and pursued a photography career. She learned about sex reassignment surgery while in Europe. Then she came and received special permission to undergo a series of operations beginning in 1952. This was reported in the New York Daily News. It was reported in an autobiography that sold 450,000 copies in 1967. This is not misinformation. This is a very well-known person with many images of her available online and in newspapers. We have a photo of them before and after on screen right now on my stream. So do not accuse me of spreading misinformation. This is a real person.
If you could send it to my Discord, I'd
absolutely
appreciate it. But I can't read the chat. It's just
no, absolutely. I'm sending it right now.
Chat and debate. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I'm sending it right now.
I'd appreciate it.
And I'll also send the Wikipedia article.
Okay.
Right.
Sure, I'll read it.
My overall point here is that trans people have existed since before the 90s, which is an insane claim to make.
Yeah, the reality is that the indoctrination has been a thing for decades, which is sad. That's all I can say.
Well, how are these people being
been slowly
indoctrinated? Because I don't think
bubbling
that Christine Jorgensen is being taught this in school. Certainly not from you.
Let me rephrase that. Yeah. No. Yeah, mental health issues have just been bubbling up for decades, and that's all I can say. And then it's led to indoctrination.
We have statistics that trans people, when they don't transition, are at a higher risk of things like suicide.
Okay, but are they seeing a therapist? Are they seeing a psychiatrist?
Yes, they're seeing. In order to transition, you do have to see those people. I hope you know.
Yeah. No, I do know that.
And so those people are going to ask them questions about, why they are seeking gender reassignment treatment. And it turns out that when these people receive the treatment that they need, the vast majority of them have just better outcomes due to transitioning.
Right.
You have a very small subset of people who detransition, and even a smaller subset of those people who say that they're not trans. A lot of the people who detransition actually detransition because of social factors, like being outcasted because they're trans, not because they don't think they're trans. But the vast majority, 99% of trans people, do not have any reason to detransition because they have better outcomes after transitioning. They feel better in their body.
I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
You don't believe it, but I have statistics. You have feelings, and I like to say facts over feelings. I don't know if you prescribe to that.
Yeah, as Ben Shapiro says. Look, I don't. Well, actually, I don't listen to a show. So,
I'm not talking about anybody's show specifically. Yeah. I'm saying the facts over feelings is like, it's pretty important, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Like so, do you have any facts to back up your statement?
First of all, I didn't come in here and prepare. Like you did.
You were ready to debate.
You didn't tell me that you were preparing.
I don't think it takes much preparation to know that trans people existed before the 90s.
You said you were going to ask me a couple of simple questions.
These are simple questions. Why do you believe that trans people are hurting America?
But you never told me that you went through my Twitter history.
Preparing for a debate is what you do when you know you're going to debate. And I only had a couple of hours. This isn't really deep stuff. I had a couple of hours. I prepared.
Out running errands, right?
Okay, but okay, hold on.
I said to you,
this is not about me. This is not about me because you're saying, I didn't prepare to debate you. But clearly you already had a belief in trans people harming society before you got to my stream. I'm asking what led you to go from being a leftist to being a anti-trans conservative. Why do you believe that trans people are hurting society?
I could talk about my history.
But I'm not that interested in your history. I'm interested in your politics right now.
But I need context. You need context.
Okay.
You need context.
I'll listen to your context, but I do want you to answer my question eventually.
Yeah, sure. I grew up in New York, outside of New York City. Grew up in a super progressive liberal family. MSNBC on TV all day. I'm not even
MSNBC is liberal central. It's not very leftist, but move on.
It is.
They were anti-Bernie.
I watched as a kid. It is. Yeah, but they were pretty pro Hillary.
Yeah, Hillary's not a leftist.
But she ran. Anyway, I'm not going to debate that.
Hillary's right wing. She's a right wing Democrat, just like Biden.
I don't really agree with that at all.
Fascinating. I'm going based on policy. She's anti-universal health care.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Like I said, man, I gotta. I'm willing to come back on and debate all this, but I got to do more information, prepare my thoughts. I'm much better at writing, writing than I am debating right on.
So you don't come back. You don't know why trans people are hurting America, like in your view?
No. I'm not good at getting my thoughts out without writing them first. If that makes any sense.
Well, I know that you've written a lot about trans people on Twitter and talked about how you believe that they're not marginalized, even though they're killed.
No, they're not. I stand by that. Yeah, they're not marginalized. I don't believe it at all.
You don't believe that at all, even though they're murdered for being
Pride
trans?
events in New York City, they're celebrated.
Yeah,
they're not marginalized.
Pride events that have been shot up
Okay. Well, you gotta, dude. I live right outside of New York City. I go to New York City quite often. I can tell you right now.
Are you not
they're out
aware
and
of the
they're
Pulse
proud.
nightclub shooting?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's marginalization, correct?
In a sense, sure, you could argue that. but I'd argue more
Okay.
the
So why
shooter
did you say
doing
they're
that
not
had mental
marginalized if there's hate
illness.
crimes against these people?
Whoa. No. First of all, killing trans people, as I mentioned on Twitter yesterday to you, is not okay. Physically harming them, abusing them.
I'm so
not
merciful.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying it's not okay. Right? Just like killing black people is not okay. Like,
Right, but it
Asian people,
happens.
whatever.
Which means that marginalization against these groups is real.
Yeah, but the Pulse nightclub shooting was a bad example, considering the fact that that person could have had a mental health condition.
Well, I think that anyone who
That's the
kills
reality.
somebody is a fucking lunatic, but that doesn't,
Right, I would
negate the
never do
fact
that,
that they're committing a hate crime against a group because they've been convinced that group is evil.
You could argue that. Yeah.
Yes, so marginalization against minority groups is a very real thing. But you said it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I really
So
don't.
why
I really
do those
think
hate
these people
crimes
are celebrated
exist?
nowadays.
They are okay.
Like I
We've
said,
made
man,
a
I
lot of
literally said mental
progress. We have made a lot of progress. LGBT people, we weren't allowed to get married until relatively recently. These pride events are
2015,
obviously becoming these pride events are obviously becoming more popular because we're becoming more accepted. But the fight is not even close to finished, and a lot of states are now trying to ban these pride events, and they're accusing us of being groomers. And so I'm trying to you're saying, oh, it's just celebrated now, but no, there is still marginalization. Even if there's less marginalization now than maybe 10 years ago, there is still marginalization. And you have to acknowledge that. If you want to acknowledge reality, you have to acknowledge that. That's objective reality, that people hate minority groups enough to kill them. That means that marginalization is still a thing.
No, I don't agree with that at all.
Why don't you agree with
I
that,
look at things
though?
in reality.
I am looking at things in reality.
Are
People
there
are killed for
plenty-
being trans.
No. Are there plenty of people that are conservative, Republican, even independent that don't believe in this ideology? Sure, but have they sent? I know Michael said eradicate transgender people, but do these people?
Well, you
have
did
these
say you
people
want to ban
actually-
transgender healthcare, which would eradicate transgender people.
Yeah. In a sense, sure.
So you are
but-
saying eradicate transgender
but,
people.
But I'm saying but people took Michael Knowles out of context and said, "Oh, he's saying he wants to kill people."
Well,
That's not.
by banning trans healthcare, you are going to see a massive spike in suicides.
Not necessarily true. Not if we have.
It is true.
Things in place to
trans
have
people are more
get
likely
help.
to kill themselves if they can't receive the care that they need. That's a fact.
Not true.
Not true? Based on what? Because I can give you another article and you'll just move on to the next subject, right? I can give you a million
Please
studies
send me
proving my
another
point.
article. Please send me another article. I still don't believe it.
Okay. Trans healthcare saves lives from Columbia University Department of Psychology. Or psychiatry. Sorry. Misspoke.
Yeah. So I gotta look into who wrote the article. I gotta see kind of where they lie politically or how, not necessarily politically, but how in line are they with reality?
Well, what they're doing is they're studying trans people. They'll follow them for years and years and try to see how many of them, attempt suicide, and how many of them don't. They look at their family lives. They ask them, hey, does your family support your transition? Does your school support your transition? Are you getting the healthcare that you need? Are you getting the meds that you need? Are you getting, did you receive top surgery? This and that. And what you see is the trans people who receive the care that they request because they're trans tend to have better outcomes than the people who don't receive the care that they need, including things like social transition, which is not necessarily health care, but it's a form of mental health care. If you're affirming the person's gender, then you're making them feel more comfortable in society. There are bullied kids who attempt suicide. You don't think that somebody who considers themselves to be trans, if they're not allowed to transition, you think that they're going to have a good outcome? Hell no. These people are at much higher risk of suicide. That's just an objective fact. This has been studied for years and years. We know that people who receive the healthcare they need are less likely to commit suicide. They're less likely to attempt suicide. They're more likely to have better mental health outcomes. And I think that's better for society. Now you can say, well, that's not true, but I have the numbers. I have the facts on my side.
That's fine. That's fine. I didn't,
I know you didn't come prepared, but when you come here and you tell me that what I said isn't true, but it is true, that seems pretty arrogant.
I won't comment until I've read it thoroughly and I've done more research, right? That's the reality of it.
But you came to the conclusion you came to now based on what? Vibes?
Now,
you're saying I haven't done enough research on this, but then how did you decide that you believe what you believe?
Based off. Now, I didn't do enough research for this panel, right? To come on here and do
it's not a panel; it's just a stream.
Or debate, yeah. Well, it is the debate.
We're debating,
as you said. It is. This is a debate, right? So I have to do more research to come back and counter these arguments. I think if we would have started the debate and we would have both. You would have sent me stuff. I would have sent you stuff, and we would have had our points together.
You came to your conclusions and said that you were willing to debate.
No, I came to my conclusions simply off of just common sense, right?
Common sense, based on what exactly? Because it's not statistics. You've proven that. You said on Twitter, "I will bring the statistics." Right? I could pull up the tweet. Your actions are proving you'd be emotional in a debate. This will be an easy win for me. So whenever you get things together, DM me. Looking forward to seeing you crumble when I provide statistics. Maybe then you'll wake up to the truth about our crumbling society. Now, where are your statistics, sir?
So like I said, I earlier was not prepared for the debate.
But you said you had them.
I said I would bring them.
Where are they?
Yeah, I did. I was not expecting to do this tonight. Obviously you have to do research. You have to do research, Ember.
I know. I've done research, which is why I know that I'm right. Which is why I knew that this would be easy.
I literally tweeted this out. I was running errands. Pretty much as soon as I was done, having our Twitter spat.
Okay, but you said you came to the conclusions that you came to. You went from being a leftist.
You've had hours to literally research.
Oh, I've had
Twitter,
years.
And
I've had years. You know why? Because the reason I'm a leftist is because I do the research before I come to my conclusions. You came to your conclusions based on vibes. I asked you earlier.
No, I didn't.
What led you to go from being a leftist to being a conservative? You said common sense. I said common sense based on what? But you had no statistics to give me. And you said, well, you watched Matt Walsh for a while. I gave you evidence that, guy ain't quite who you think he is. And you were like, well, I didn't watch him that much.
I never said he was. I never said that. I never said I'm a huge Matt Walsh fan.
No, I never said you said that. I said that you watched him, which is objectively true.
Yeah, like back in 2021, right? For a little bit, but I haven't. But occasionally I watch a clip, sure. But you can go into my Twitter.
What led you to become a right winger?
My own experiences, right?
What experiences?
Straight up seeing that. Without getting too much into my personal life, being in college, being in high school, and just waking up one day and realizing, this isn't normal. What's going on in society? It's not just about the trans issue.
Men wearing pink shirts.
Yeah, it's not normal. I don't wear pink shirts.
I can't imagine being so insecure in my masculinity that I would think that men wearing pink shirts is going to take down Western civilization.
I don't. That's not what I'm saying.
Just saying something to a chatter real quick. Just a guy with opinions. This person that I'm debating right now, they're not the only person I'm willing to debate. If you wanted to come on, I would absolutely debate you and I would destroy you. Anyway.
Wait, did someone say that in your comments?
But someone in my comments is calling me names and saying things about the LGBT community. I would absolutely debate you and I would fucking destroy you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I mean, it's your stream, but I'd assume your stance is he's welcome to join us, right?
Well, not right now. Me and you are talking.
Oh, sure.
If they wanted to come on some other time, I'd bring them on. Yes.
Let's. Hey, man, let's have more fun. I'm down for it.
Again, I'm asking you to answer simple questions.
Yeah. Well, you did a lot of research on me. Is there anything else you want to know about?
I didn't do a lot of research on you, but I have done a lot of research on things like trans healthcare. I've done a lot of research on things like universal healthcare. I've done a lot of research on things like Ron DeSantis. I've done research on the things that you say that you believe in or support or whatever the case.
I did say, one of our first conversations we had, and you deleted the tweet. I said, actually not that. Here's what I said. Amber, look at my account and please tell me where I said any kind of sexual assault is okay. Am I conservative? Pretty much. Do I think women would be happier being married and with kids and working? Yes. Am I pro-trans? No. Should trans people be killed? No.
Yeah, and I'm here to focus on the am I pro-trans no thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm focusing on right now. Why aren't you pro-trans?
Yeah, but this all started because you thought I was defending Russell Brand or whatever.
I never. Oh.
So
slow down there.
I never knew.
I never said you supported Russell Brand.
About trans.
You haven't said a word about Russell Brand, so no, I never did claim that you supported Russell Brand specifically. I said conservatives like sexual predators, which is true. I've never met a conservative that hasn't loved at least one of them.
You said something along the lines of, but you deleted the tweet. You're the guy. I remember that.
Yeah, you're the guy. You're the guy because you were saying, well, innocent until proven guilty, when Russell Brand has tweets on his account talking about how he wants to fuck teenagers.
Right.
You just step in to something that you don't know anything about, and then you very arrogantly say, actually, I know what I'm talking about. But you don't. I think you're confused.
Isn't he a comedian, though? I mean, isn't this what comedians
you think those
do?
Are jokes?
Yeah.
You think that, the person who had a sex addiction that's well documented, who, jokes about fucking teenagers, when teenagers come out and say, actually, he assaulted me, you think that person's innocent, right?
No,
you think Bill Cosby's innocent?
I just said he's... No.
Well, he did get away with it, didn't he? He's free right now, isn't he?
Okay, it's sad. I'm not
innocent until proven guilty.
Pro Bill Cosby here. You can look at my Twitter when have I been pro Bill Cosby?
Well, I did bring up the Matt Walsh thing.
I'm willing to come back up. What does that have to do with anything?
He's a little bit weird, isn't he? Talking about minors the way he does.
I mean, wasn't that taken out of context by Media Matters?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about with Media Matters. I got that from from a video of Matt Walsh in his car.
No, I know the one you're talking about, but Media Matters was the one that found it. I could.
What do you think? It's AI?
No. I'm just saying they went back and found that video and then took it out of context.
Okay. So there's a context to Matt Walsh saying that child marriage is justified.
I mean, I would have to watch the video in full context.
Well, you just said that it was taken out of context, but you don't know the real context.
Yeah, it was taken out of context. This Media Matters does take things out of context.
Did they take that video out of context?
Yeah. They take all their videos out of context. Okay.
So what was the original context, if you know it?
I don't know it. That's why
then how do you know it was taken out of context?
I guarantee it is because other videos
you guarantee it is, but you can't guarantee that, can you, buddy?
I can't guarantee that one, but I can guarantee general media.
So now you're being honest. You can't guarantee that it was taken out of context.
Yeah, I can't, but I would have to watch it.
Okay. We're going to move on from Matt Walsh. Right, I'm asking you for the 500th time. What is it about trans people that is making society worse? Objectively. I'm not talking about your common sense in your heart. I'm talking about numbers. By what metric is LGBT rights harming society? By what metric is men wearing pink shirts harming society? I'm genuinely curious. What is it?
Yeah, so look, I'm willing to come back on once I've
so you don't have an answer. You say it's harming society, but you don't know why.
Does it seem like I've had an answer? Because I didn't have time to prepare, but you sure did.
Well, here's my point with that, though. You keep saying I didn't have time to prepare. but you believe in these things even though you don't know why you believe in these things. You go on Twitter and you say, I'm not pro-trans. But when someone asks you, why aren't you pro-trans? You say, well, I haven't done a lot of research. So why do you say that in the first place? Why not just say, hey, I don't know enough about trans issues to come to a conclusion pro or anti, so I'm just going to stay the fuck out of it. But you arrogantly say, I'm anti-trans, and when I ask you why, you don't have an answer. That's not cool. That's not how normal people should go about their lives. You say, oh, I have opinions on politics, right in your bio. You must be passionate about these things, but you don't know why you're passionate about these things. I think you're probably young and confused, and I think this is all very vibes based, and you were very confident coming in here by saying you had statistics, but when you were pushed even slightly by a leftist who knows what they're talking about, you crumbled. You have nothing. You have no reason to actually hate the people like me. You have nothing. You have no statistics. You have nothing. You say we're harming society. I ask you how, and you have no answer. That's sad. That's just sad. Why hate us if you don't know why you hate us?
I do know why I hate you.
Tell me why.
You've asked me that several times.
Tell me why.
I explained it to you. Okay, not a problem. You're crumbling society.
How?
Not just trans people. This media lie, right? This lie about Black Lives Matter. Like I said earlier, if we were to go into another war, right, as an example, we'd be fucked because the men don't know how to be men, the women don't know how to be women. We're telling women that they could be whatever, they could be strong and independent. We're telling men that they could be weak, feminine, submissive. It's just not how it is.
Do you have
it's just
any
not a reflection of reality?
Do you have any?
Like I said, I'm willing,
statistics, anything to back up what you're saying?
I'm willing to. I didn't have time to prepare, as I've said several times.
Then why are you saying these things if you don't know that they're true?
Like I said, it doesn't come down to that. It simply comes down to the fact that I wasn't able to write a Word document on my computer. And state my opinions, right? Because you said for a debate. That's how it is.
Okay, let's back it up.
You don't talk off the top of your head. Yeah, sure.
I said, why do you hate me and people like me? You said, because it's making society weaker. It's crumbling society.
Yeah.
I said, how? You said, the military is weaker. Now, do you have any proof or even evidence that the military is weaker against a foreign enemy? Yes or no?
You asked for a statistic, or you asked? Yes, for
I'm asking for you.
Right?
Yes, I've been asking for statistics forever now. Do you have any reason to believe that the military would be weaker against a foreign enemy right now because of the existence of LGBT people?
Again, I got. Oh,
if you don't have anything, then why do you believe that?
Hang on, I didn't do something on my computer. Like I said, I know I have reasons why. Simply, I just didn't prepare.
Do you know what I think it is? Because I can tell you what I think is happening here. I think you saw memes from right-wing accounts showing people in the military maybe looking a little, like me, and you thought, wow, that makes us look weak because you're vibes-based. But when it comes to objective reality, I don't think you know what you're talking about.
You are allowed to have the opinions that you're allowed to have.
It's not an opinion.
Like I said, I do.
If it was an opinion, I wouldn't have stats. Like you, who has opinions. I have facts.
Like I said, I'm willing to come back on, right? You had time to prepare. That's the reality of it.
I barely prepared. This didn't take much. You formed an entire ideology based on vibes. And you're saying, well, you had a couple hours to prepare for this.
Don't use that modern lingo. I can't stand it.
Modern lingo? What do you mean modern lingo? What do you mean modern lingo? You're younger than me.
That vibes. Yeah, I'm 21.
Vibes?
Vibes. I hate that.
You hate the word vibes? Why? Because does it trigger you?
No, it doesn't trigger me. I just don't like it. Hey man, you're allowed to have your opinion you want to have.
They're not opinions. I had statistics. You literally tried to claim that transgender people.
That's.
I was joking around. I'm using the language of the right, but You
Right.
tried to claim,
No, I know.
not even a half hour ago, you tried to claim that trans people didn't exist before 1990. What are you basing any of your ideology on? You have an ideology, you're right wing. What is it based on?
Again, I did not have time to properly prepare.
What you are doing,
Right.
like Kaylin is saying in chat right now, is you,
Okay.
as a right winger who has no reason to be a right winger, you are putting me in a position where I have to debate why I should be allowed to exist.
Wait. Why can I not be a right winger? Okay, let's go to that. Why can't I be a right winger? Please tell me.
Well, your politics and the policies you believe in, the people you vote for, make
Am I telling you you can't
our
be liberal?
lives harder.
Or whatever you want to be?
This is policy. We're talking policy. We're talking bills.
Okay.
The things that you support, the people that you support, make my life more difficult. I have to debate you on why I should be allowed to exist when you don't even know why you think I shouldn't. Thank you for the sub, Bark Dave.
Right. Yeah,
You're making
like
me
I said,
debate my
should've
existence
came
when you
up-
don't know why you hate me.
You didn't have to debate your existence. You offered to. You
I
don't
do have to
No-
because
no
people
one's-
like you
No, you don't.
constantly vote for people who want to eradicate us, and
do
you
I-
already
do I
said
have
that your
to- yeah,
ideology is that of eradicating
Okay.
trans people.
Do I have to debate why I'm black whenever someone everyone says I hate black people? No, I don't care. Feel
Well,
what you want to feel, man.
You don't.
know?
Okay, but you don't know why you don't care. You don't know why you care. You don't know
do
what
know
you're.
why
you don't know what
care.
you're doing.
I do. Yes, I do. I do know why I care about. I
You
hate
said
trans people
because
so
you think
much.
it's crumbling society, but when I
I'm
ask
just
you
like
why,
them.
you have no answer. We're running in circles here.
No, we're not.
Why do you
asked
support
me
Ron
why
DeSantis?
why it crumbles society?
Why do you
Let me
support
think
Ron
about that for a
DeSantis?
second.
You said it was a stance on
Sure.
LGBT people.
Primarily, yeah. Not just that. I also said the woke shit going on in Hollywood he's standing up to, which I respect. How they've completely ruined our entertainment, Disney, Warner Brothers, all this.
Okay,
this
how is
nonsense.
that negatively impacting your life?
I think it's negatively brainwashing people.
How?
I don't watch it.
You
know,
think
or
it
actually
is,
I
but
do
why
watch
do you
I
think it
watch
is?
Like I said, because it's negatively brainwashing people
But why? How?
into having.
How is it negative?
Well,
If you
with
have
the-
gay
with
people
the-
in entertainment,
that's
how is that negative? What is it doing to society that you hate so much?
There's nothing to do with gay people.
You said wokeness. What do you mean by
Please tell
wokeness?
me.
Okay, what do you mean by
Okay,
wokeness?
okay. Whoa. Let me look through my replies here. Let me look through all my
No.
replies with you.
We're talking about what
right?
you said in this
No.
debate.
Let me
Earlier in
do
the
this.
debate, when
Hang
I
on.
asked you
Hang
why
on.
you support
Hang on.
Ron DeSantis, you said because of his stance on LGBT people. You did not just say trans. You said LGBT. The chat
Oh,
heard
please tell
you.
me. Yeah.
Do you know what the
they did hear
G
me say
stands
that, but
for?
They also. What, gay?
Yes.
Okay.
You said it's not about gay people, but it is.
Gary, what does it say?
It says for gay.
So let me get this straight. This all started because I called. I said something about Russell Crowe that you didn't like.
You said not all of us
and so
conservatives support sex
I never,
predators.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And I started this debate by
And,
bringing up Matt Walsh, and then I wanted to talk to you about other
Yeah,
things because I wanted to debate your right-wing beliefs. That was the entire
So
point.
why are we stuck on LGBTQ points? Why don't we
Because
move
when I
to that?
asked you why you support Ron DeSantis, you said because of his stance on LGBT people. And I said, well, why do you like that he hates
how long
us?
have we been on
And you
here?
said
Hang on, let me
because
see.
you're crumbling society. And I said,
don't
well,
use
how are
Discord.
we
Is there a way to
crumbling
check?
society? And you don't have an answer.
Okay, how long have we been on here for?
Probably like an hour.
What, almost an hour? Yeah. Why are we still? If you have other questions to ask me, ask me them. I gotta go to bed.
Because
by
you
1 a.m.
haven't
I gotta go to
answered my
work.
first one. Why do you think we're hurting society?
I did.
No, you didn't. You didn't. You said I need more time to prepare. You didn't answer.
Right. I said in terms of statistics, I need more time to prepare.
Okay, but
That's what I meant to say.
okay, but you need statistics. You need objective truth to back up your points. If you don't have that, what do you have? Vibes. And I'm not here to
No.
debate your vibes. You might think gay people are a little
No,
icky,
you're not.
but I'm not here to debate
so,
that.
So ask me. I'm not trying to move to a different topic, but I'm serious. If you want to ask me something else about my right-wing takes. So ask me about the entertainment industry. Ask me about the gaming industry.
Okay, I already
right?
asked you.
Please.
What do you mean by wokeness? When you say, I like that Ron DeSantis stands up against wokeness in Hollywood. What do you mean by wokeness?
So strong female characters, all that nonsense, not true.
Strong female characters have been around since the dawn of film.
Yes, but they were, they had female traits. They were feminine, they were nurturing, they were badasses, sure.
Not necessarily. Some of them were written as men and then turned into women later in development.
Name a film.
I could be wrong about this chat, but wasn't Ripley from Alien originally written as a man and then turned into a woman later? That's from the 80s, correct? Yes. Okay.
That is from the 80s, I believe, yeah.
Yeah. And so no one called that woke. They say that that's a cool character. That's a strong female character who was written as a man and then later turned into a woman because they liked that concept.
Yeah, sure. So my issue isn't inherently just strong female characters, but it's more they don't need men, they can't have weaknesses, they outdo men. That's the issues I have. And men, but they make them I believe every story needs to be grounded in reality.
Yes.
Right?
Well,
I think those make the
there's
best
fantasy.
stories.
Fantasy exists.
Yes, there's fantasy, sci-fi. I love Star Wars, right? But it needs to be grounded. The humans need to be grounded in reality. They need to be characters that we're able to look at and relate to. Could most men relate to a feminine, bitchy man? I'm not saying you have to be an alpha male, overly masculine. That's not what I'm saying, but yeah, sure.
I'm asking you something here. Give me a character that you dislike just because of wokeness or whatever.
Okay, sure. Give me 1 second to think about it, because I've seen a lot of modern movies. The most tourist one that goes to my mind is I know, but there are.
You gonna say Ray?
Out there, right?
Were you gonna say Ray?
Ray? What's Ray?
You said you like Star Wars.
I'm confused. Oh yeah. Oh, now I fucking remember.
No, what were you gonna say originally?
I generally don't want to fucking remember that character.
Okay.
Okay, awful.
What were you gonna say originally?
But anyway, yeah, sure. So I was gonna say 2016 Ghostbusters.
You're still film. Oh my gosh, you're still focused on 2016 Ghostbusters?
No,
dude, that's a throwback to the Gamergate days, bro. Examples. That is a throwback. That movie's 7 years old.
We could talk about. Okay, we could.
Do you know how old you were when that came out, bro?
I was not 7 years old. That's I know.
No, the movie's 7 years old.
Oh, the movie's 7 years old. All right.
Do you know how old you were?
I could think of Spider-Man No Way Home.
What about No Way Home?
That's a pretty recent one. Okay, I can rant about it. Why
I love No Way Home, dude.
MJ? No. I have a lot of issues with the Holland trilogy. But why did they make MJ black? Are you telling me there wasn't an agenda there?
Pause. Hold on.
It's accurate to the comics.
Hold on.
MJ, okay.
You sound a little triggered.
I'll let you talk.
Pause.
No, I'm not. I'm just passionate about Spider-Man. It's my favorite superhero.
Her name isn't even Mary Jane in the movie. I hope you understand.
No, it's Michelle Jones.
We're talking about. First of all, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Sure, I'll let you talk.
Second, she's not Mary Jane Watson. Mary Jane Watson exists in the multiverse, but this character is not her. Her name is Michelle Jones, and she is a completely different character who just happens to have MJ as her name because she is this version of Peter Parker's love interest. Now, let me ask you something. Why does it matter that they made her black?
It simply matters because it isn't comic accurate.
No.
If you want to make
comic accurate. Michelle Jones is not MJ.
She doesn't. But the writers want her to be MJ, the new MJ. That's my issue.
Yeah, she's the new MJ, and old MJ still exists, and you can love old MJ.
Yeah,
What's your point
tell me that
here?
isn't woke at all. There's no. Yeah.
I don't. No.
False,
you know what I think? I think that Zendaya is a good performer, and I think that her and Tom Holland have good chemistry, and that's why they made her the love interest.
Okay, so let's use an even more recent example.
They're
the
living
Little
together.
Mermaid movie. Let's use that. Let's use that. The Little Mermaid movie, right?
What about it?
From Disney.
Yeah. What about it?
So Ariel, first of all, Little Mermaid is one of my favorite films of all time. It was my favorite film as a kid.
I love The Little Mermaid too.
I was looking forward. Yeah, I mean, so you get it. I was looking forward to. Maybe you don't get it, but you know.
I love The Little Mermaid,
right? Yeah. So I was very much looking forward to the live action movie to a degree. I know Disney's live action movies are kind of shit, but
some of them are, yes. I actually like the live action Little Mermaid. I think that they did a good job with the relationship between her and Eric. I think that was improved compared to the original.
Okay, yeah.
I also think that Halle Bailey was a good choice for Ariel because she performed the role of a Disney princess admirably. And I think that her voice is beautiful.
Okay, I haven't heard any of her music, so
you didn't.
I don't
so
like
wait, hold on.
at all.
You haven't seen the movie.
No, but because
so you're against it just because she's black. You haven't even seen it.
I could get into that right now if you'd let me. Right, I totally can.
I would like it if you actually had a reason to hate it. Because
no,
I hope you understand, I was
frankly
intimately familiar with the casting process. I'm the one who leaked that she was in it. I hope you understand that you're talking to a person who knows how she was cast, knows how that process went, and knows that there were white bitches in that room, and black bitches, and Asian bitches, and all these fucking bitches. And they picked Halle Bailey because they liked her singing voice more than any other performer in that room. She had the best voice out of all of them, and the entire reason they cast her is because the idea of that person losing their ability to sing is tragic because her voice is beautiful. It's objectively beautiful.
There's a quite simple fix to this in post-production. Or having an actress, she could be any race, sing the songs, and then a white actress who doesn't have the greatest singing voice but looks like Ariel.
But why go through that much effort? You can just cast Halle Bailey.
These are because it's accurate. It's respecting the source material. That's what it comes down to.
No. Because respecting the source material, if you want to talk, okay, hold on. I have a little mic drop here. The Disney version of The Little Mermaid is not accurate to the source material. The animated version of the film is not accurate to the source material. So now we're talking about something where, hey, I love this movie, even though it's not accurate to the source material, but the moment her skin color, of all things, is changed, when there's so many things that have been changed about the film already, the moment that's changed, suddenly you're livid.
No, that would... See, that would bother me too. I haven't seen the film.
What do you mean that would bother you?
Right? If they change some of the things I love about that film, right?
Do you know? Okay, you love the original film.
Yeah.
The original film is based on a book that's completely different from the film. She turned into fucking foam, dude.
But the difference is they adapted the book. They made it into a movie, right?
Yes, and then they made a different movie.
And then they decided to remake that movie, but using the source material of the original movie.
In some instances, yes, but that movie also makes a lot of changes to the relationship between her and Eric, which is why I like it.
I'm guessing. Okay, let me guess what's going on here. Right? She's a strong, badass character.
Yeah, nope.
Okay. I can see it now.
Nope. I literally saw them, and that is you're wrong. You're like literally wrong. You haven't even seen it. I'm going to tell you right now. Halle Bailey in that film, for all its faults, which that film is not perfect, she embodies the role of the original Ariel from the animated film impeccably. They do not change her character at all. She is the animated Ariel in her characterization 1-to-1. It is perfect. And the only thing they shift with her characterization is not girl bossy shit. It's, hey, her and Eric spend more time together in this movie. They get to know each other. In the original movie, Eric does not have much to do. In the new movie, they go on dates and talk, and talk about their shared interests, talk about how they want to explore different worlds. And it's awesome because that is literally what they're supposed to do. Ariel wants to go to the surface, Eric wants to go to the ocean, and they bond over that. But she's not girl bossy, she's a Disney princess. I promise you that Halle Bailey in that film does not do anything girl bossy or feministy. She is literally just animated Ariel in live action. Now, the fact that she's black is inconsequential to the story. They picked her because of her singing voice, and that's why she is in the film. Now, if you want to talk about a movie that I'm a little worried about when it comes to the girl bossy shit, I could tell you a lot of my opinions on the new Snow White movie and how I'm concerned about how they're going to handle the Snow White character. Now,
yeah, we can talk about that.
I'm
sure.
not here to talk
Go ahead.
about that because I don't think it's that important. I don't think it's so important that I would vote for Ron DeSantis for president because Ariel's black. Oh, let me vote for this politician who's going to rip healthcare from people because Ariel's black.
I never.
What are you
I never.
thinking?
I mean, I called him out. I shouted him out, right? For how he.
I asked
how he's
you, why do you
calling
like
out
Ron
Disney,
DeSantis?
but I never
And the first
specifically-
answer you gave
Right, but I
was
never-
LGBT stuff. The second answer you gave was he attacks wokeness in Hollywood. I said, what wokeness in Hollywood? You said, Black Ariel.
I said also Ghostbusters 2016. And
Dude, do you think Ghostbusters 2016 is important enough to rip healthcare from people?
No.
Then why do you like Ron DeSantis?
Yeah, simply that quite frankly, he's a stand-up guy. From what I see.
You think he's a
Granted, you could argue that he's a politician. I agree with his. Listen, man.
What this is
yeah.
politics. What policies do you support?
Why? Okay, so I thought this was supposed to be a debate about several different things.
This is a debate about politics.
You seem to
What
just-
policies do you support?
You can't invite someone to a debate and not tell them fully what the debate is about.
It's about politics, and you knew this.
Okay, let me go through my Twitter right now.
I talked about Ron DeSantis. I talked about.
Yeah, I did. I had no clue we were going to be talking about trans issue stuff. Quite frankly, I
Really?
No clue. Looking at it right now. Yeah, looking at it right now, I had no clue we were going to talk about it.
You came into my replies and
had
said
a
you were
feeling-
anti-trans. Of course, I was going to bring that up.
Yes, am I anti? Yes, but that was one thing.
And you
I
promised to bring the statistics. I even said, when do you want to debate? And you said, right now. Do you want me to flash the Discord message on screen?
But I also no. But I also no. But I also did originally say that I I cannot talk. I have
Don't start
ADHD,
something you
forgive me.
can't finish.
Can you elaborate on that?
You stepped up to
Elaborate
me,
on
ready
that.
to debate, and you said you were
Hey,
going to crush me.
I'm not.
And
I'm
you're
not.
embarrassing
I'm not
yourself,
wrapping it up.
quite
I said I have
frankly.
till 1 a.m.
You're embarrassing yourself.
No, I'm not. No, I stand by everything I said tonight. 100%.
It's.
I really
Dude,
do.
you said you
I
support
really do.
Ron DeSantis because of Ghostbusters 2016.
No, I didn't.
This is bad for you.
When did I say that quote? No, Ember. When did I say that quote directly?
You said
support
because of
Ron
wokeness in
DeSantis
Hollywood. I
because
said what wokeness? You said Ghostbusters
Yes, exactly.
2016.
Exactly.
Yes. So when
That
I
was
say
one of the first
yes, so when
yeah.
I say why do you support Ron DeSantis? You say wokeness in Hollywood. I say what wokeness in Hollywood? You say Ghostbusters 2016. So that means that you support Ron DeSantis because of things like Ghostbusters 2016. By
Not
your logic,
necessarily,
that's what you're
go
saying.
off. Not necessarily.
Okay, so why
I'm
do
willing
you
to come back on
support
if we have a
him?
more structured debate. I am.
No, I'm
I
not.
really am willing-
Because
I'm
guess
sitting
what?
here till-
I don't think you actually have an ideology. I'm debating you because I knew it would be easy, not because I think you had a chance.
You're allowed to have the opinion you want to have. That's all I'll say.
I knew
I
from
don't
the
feel the
beginning this
need
would
to
be
embarrass-
easy. I had
Okay, how?
statistics, you didn't. I had facts, you didn't. I have
Okay,
policies
but
I
how
believe
did
in,
you know?
you
Oh,
don't.
but how did you? But how do you know that for sure?
Because you're a
How do
conservative.
you know that for sure? Because I'm a conservative? What the fuck does that have to do with it?
Well,
Okay,
most
so
conservative
all
commentators that I've seen
wait.
dodge
All
debates
conservatives in
with
America.
leftists because they don't know how to debate us
Okay,
because
Ben
we know
Shapiro-
what we're talking about.
Ben Shapiro debated Anna Kasparian.
Yeah, Anna Kasparian is despised by the left. She's a fucking lib. You're not keeping up?
Whatever, dude. No, because I really don't care about leftist politics all that much, to be honest.
Also,
Like,
Ben Shapiro's not a good debater. He crumbled on the BBC. He accused a Republican or accused a conservative commentator from the BBC of being a fucking liberal because he was scared.
Okay, I'll join your stream and we could watch it right now and I'll commentate with you.
Commentate? What do you mean commentate what?
I'll say why I think I'll listen to
You
it
want to
right now.
debate the policies of Ben Shapiro? I'm debating you. I'm not debating Ben. I'm debating you. And Ben dodged a debate with Kyle Kulinski. I hope you understand that. There was a Politicon panel that Kyle Kulinski and Ben Shapiro were supposed to be on, and Ben Shapiro called in and said no. I don't know what you're in it for. I don't. Because you're not making money and you don't have any beliefs. So what are you in this for? Stopping men from wearing pink? What about Breast Cancer Awareness Month? Are you scared that they're going to wear pink and it's going to suddenly be a real issue because they're wearing what? Breast Cancer Awareness shirts? Like, what are you doing? You're just parroting what you hear online with the woke bad shit, and you support Ron DeSantis. You're of voting age, so it concerns me because you're going to support somebody who's going to hurt somebody, hurt a lot of people that I care about, and you don't even know why you support him. You have no independent thoughts. You have nothing.
I do have independent thoughts.
What are they?
Okay, ask me a question and I'll give you my independent thought.
Why do you support Ron DeSantis?
Ask me something. Quite simply. No, I'll answer it. Because of all the shit going in Hollywood.
This is your third time answering this question,
and the gay agenda. And the gay agenda. Okay, fine. Let's talk about it. The gay agenda.
What gay agenda?
So let me use the example, right? Putting up a pride flag in June. Let's give that example, right? So let's start there. Is there anything wrong with that? Is that
in June? In June. June is Pride Month.
June, yes. Okay.
I think they should be up all the time, but that's besides the point.
Okay, right, but you're allowed to have that opinion, but it never happened though when I was in high school.
Oh, when I was in high school, there were signs saying that like this is a gay-friendly classroom and stuff.
No, it never happened in my school.
And by the way, I'm older than you, so
I believe.
What does that say about high school?
I'm just simply saying that where
I went to high school before you did, and there were gay-friendly signs.
Right. So first, it starts with the flag. Then it starts with talking about sexual orientation in school. Then it starts to talk about how gender is a binary. Right.
It's
and all this shit
a binary. You mean a spectrum? When I talk about gender, I say it's a social construct because it is.
Not true.
Okay, how so?
I just don't. No. Okay, well, let me just, I'm not going to get, spiritual.
Okay, wait, here's a question for you. Actually, no, I have a really good question for you. You say you're against men wearing pink. Are you against men wearing dresses and heels?
Yes.
Are you aware that men used to wear dresses and heels before Pride was even a thing?
No, not primarily.
Oh, yes. Style changes.
Please send me that. Please send me the.
Nobody send you like old founding fathers wearing heels.
Yes, please. I'm dying to see it.
Dude, I'm gonna send it, and then you're gonna be like, "Well, I don't know enough about that." That's what's gonna happen.
Hey, man, if you send that, and I'll own up to it. I'll own up to it.
Okay.
I'll admit, hey, that's something I didn't know.
Dude, they dress like women.
I don't believe that. I just don't believe it. But please send it to me. You're laughing all the way, man. But
Here's a dude wearing heels in a fucking before even photography was invented. What are we doing here?
Okay, dude,
you don't know basics.
I don't know where the fuck you even got this from. Straight up.
It's a history.
Where'd you get this
dude,
from?
Style changes over time.
Yeah, style
jeans,
does change over time, right?
Dresses, wigs, heels. Gender roles were completely different. You think 1950s gender roles are like a forever thing that it's been? You probably do because you think trans people were invented in the 90s.
I'll simply say I didn't know that, and I'll own up to it.
Yeah, you
I
don't
did
know
not
most
when
things. You're a conservative.
Oh, I do know a lot of things. Oh, because I'm a conservative, right?
Yes.
That's funny.
The Chad yes meme, yes.
Yeah.
Hydrogen bomb
Yes.
versus coughing baby.
Wow, Amber.
I was right before
You're really
this
acting your
started.
age.
Because I
you
knew
right
that this
before
is how
this-
it was going to go.
2 steps ahead.
People are going to accuse me of planting you because this went so badly for you.
This really didn't go badly for me.
It absolutely
I
did.
don't see how this. How is this gonna? Yes, does it stay on the internet
have
forever? Sure.
nothing.
Could you upload this? You could do whatever.
Oh, I'm
you want to
uploading
do
the
with it.
entire thing because it's really, really funny.
Yeah, you're allowed to do that 100%, Amber. I'm not. I came on here understanding that that might be a thing.
No. You came on here thinking you were going to crush.
Yeah, to a degree, sure.
You haven't.
But look, technically, I could look at your chat right now, and I'm sure they're all laughing at me, but they're also probably very pro-LGBTQ.
Well, yeah, they are because they're, not brain dead. There's no reason to be against LGBT people unless you're, like, being paid to be against them or you're just completely ignorant.
Not sure. What to
Again,
say,
you have no
know?
reason. I've been asking you for a reason to be against them and you have nothing.
I already said several fucking times the reason.
What?
I already said what I think.
That they're ruining
What I said,
society.
sorry. Yeah,
How are they ruining society?
I already answered that.
By making the military weaker. How are they making the military weaker?
Well, we're telling men that they could, wear heels.
Okay,
and
but
shit,
what
that they
statistics
can't
do you
be
have that
strong,
show that the
and
military
women-
is weaker than it
okay,
was before gay people joined? Or actually, no, because
Like I said,
gay
I
people
didn't-
have
I
always been
didn't-
in the military. Weaker than when Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed. The
You know
reason
what?
that we have
Yeah.
openly gay people in the military, but gay people have existed for centuries.
I don't agree with you.
You don't think that gay people
I
have
just don't
existed for
agree with
centuries? Because you were already
you
wrong
provide-
about
you
trans people.
provide-
Do you want to pick another fight
you
on
provide-
when gay people were
No,
invented?
I don't want to pick another fight. I want to do the research, and I want to come back here.
Then why did you just
and
say
give
you
my
disagree with
opinion.
me if you don't know? Long men have been sleeping with other men in the military? Eons.
No.
Oh,
The
yes.
Military men. No.
You have this like childish view of military men as like this big, strong, like movie guy. That's not what the reality is. They're butt fucking, dude. There's like a whole joke about how the Navy is full of fucking gay people. Are you actually serious? Ancient Greece. Do you know anything about ancient Greece?
I'm gonna look into it. I'll look into it. I'm
You
just
literally
saying, I'm gonna
just
look
don't
into
even
it.
realize that they're like a real thing. Like where did you go to school? What is going on? Like, how do you not realize that this is a thing? You thought trans people were invented in the 90s. I still can't believe it.
But they don't teach you about transgender people in high school or middle school. I was
Yeah,
that.
but you came to a conclusion based on nothing. You told me you're wrong. They didn't exist until the 90s. And I was like, here's proof that they did before the 90s. And you were like, oh, well, it feels like everything you believe crumbles on a little bit of like a Google search. And then you're like, oh, well, I don't know enough about this. But you're coming to conclusions without knowing enough about them instead of just like keeping your mouth shut, which was what we want you to do. If you don't know enough about trans people, if you don't know enough about gay people, if you don't know the history, if you don't know how we're marginalized in society, if you don't want to advocate for our rights, any of this, then keep your mouth shut and don't vote for the love of God because you don't know what you're talking about.
So, yeah, so you're allowed, like I said this whole time, you're allowed to have your opinions.
It's not an
and
opinion.
your
It's a
beliefs.
fact. You had nothing. You
No,
had no
it is an
stats
opinion.
at all.
It is an opinion.
Statistics are not opinions. Facts over feelings. An opinion is a feeling.
But I said you're allowed to have your opinions. That's
Damn right I am,
that's
but I
not
hope you
what
don't
I'm
vote based on
yeah.
yours.
You can't stop me. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I can't stop you, but I can try to convince you that you're wrong and you're not even listening to reason.
I'm very much willing to listen to reason behind the
No,
scenes
you're
if you want me to.
behind the scenes. Listen to me
I
now.
will. I will.
I've asked you over and over why you believe that this is harming society, but you don't have any statistics that back up what you're saying. So why do you believe what you believe outside of what memes that you saw on Twitter or YouTube? Like, why
Okay,
do you
so
actually
hang on,
believe what
hang
you
on.
believe? You're a kid who's confused.
Go into my likes. Yes, do I like memes? Of course. I'm 21
No,
years old.
you're a
Fuck
kid
things.
who's confused.
No,
That's what you
no, I'm
are.
not a kid that's confused. No, there is shit I have not admitted on here, obviously to keep my identity
Your identity.
private.
Dude,
Yeah.
listen. If you don't have an objective reason to hate LGBT people, then just don't hate them.
But what if, isn't that part of America? Isn't that part of, as long as I'm not harming them?
You
isn't
are
that
harming.
allowed?
Your voting is harming.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
No, I'm not.
The votes are
am I
harm.
putting on Twitter? Am I putting on Twitter? Go shoot up nightclubs, right? Gay nightclubs. No.
Yeah, because you
Go
get
through my
banned.
history. What?
But you
Not
want to
about
eliminate
getting
trans healthcare, which is doing harm.
You can make another Twitter account like that. It's not about getting
Okay,
banned.
but you want to eliminate trans healthcare, which is doing harm.
Oh, see, you just went into your feelings and said that
That's
I
not
would get
feelings.
banned.
That's not. Oh, yeah, you
That
do
is
because
feelings.
you want to. You literally said you want to eradicate it.
You literally assumed. Whoa.
Okay,
I said
do you-
Michael Knowles said that, but am I pro giving adults hormone replacement therapy? No.
Okay.
I never
Okay.
said I
Question:
said that.
Yes or no? Do you want to ban trans healthcare?
Okay. Yes. That's not killing all trans people. Is it?
It's eliminating
Is that
transness.
If I was the president of the United States and I was able to ban something like that, right? Would I ban trans healthcare, right? Would all trans people just outright disappear?
Yes.
No, this.
Yes. Yes. They would
How?
all have to be closeted because they couldn't transition.
Not true.
What?
If the people that have already transitioned are alive, how does that make any sense?
Oh, okay. Wait a second. Pause. Let me ask you a question. If I said I'm dictator of the world and I'm going to stop black people from breeding, and I said, but don't worry, this isn't killing all black people. The ones that are still alive right now, they can keep existing, I guess. But I want to stop you guys from creating more. Would that be eradication of blackness, yes or no?
You could argue that, sure, yeah.
Yeah, so you want to eradicate trans people. It's genocide.
But I'm not trying to. No, it's not. I'm not trying
It
to
absolutely.
eradicate.
How is it not genocide? How is it not genocide?
I'm not trying to eradicate these people. I simply want them to get the help they need.
The help
There's a
they need
difference.
is trans health
I've
care.
simply come off
The help
as-
they
I've-
need is
I've
health
simply
care.
come off as-
You want them to
I've
go to
simply
what,
come off as
conversion therapy?
Sympathetic here.
It doesn't
Okay,
work.
depends what kind of conversion.
It
therapy,
doesn't
like
work. I
shock
promise you, it
treatment?
doesn't. No, it doesn't work. The affirmation model works.
I've been
It
nothing but
prevents death.
sympathetic towards. I've been nothing but sympathetic about trans people on here. I
No,
generally
you
feel
have
bad
not
for
been
these
sympathetic. If you were sympathetic, you would actually listen to what trans
How?
people are telling you, which is, we need this health care, and you want to take it away from us. And if
But
we
if
don't
I-
have this health care, we are more at risk of
I'm not gonna say
dying.
anything that can be taken out of
Dying.
context, but okay. All right. Well, yeah. I don't agree with you.
Why don't you?
I just don't agree
Again,
with you.
you disagree with fact, objective fact.
I would have to I'd have to get my own statistics. and
Why?
I would have to come to
Again,
you and do
this
a
is the last
proper
time I'm going to
debate.
ask you,
I'm
and
willing
then the
to do
debate's
that.
over because
I'm
we're going
willing
on
to do
2
that.
hours of talking to a
Okay.
brick wall.
You're having a meltdown. It's laughable.
Oh,
quite frankly.
okay, I promise you
don't
that's
know
not
why
how
you
this
wanna
is coming
up-
across. I promise.
I don't know why you wanted to even upload this, but yeah. Hey man, it's up to you.
You,
As long as my
you
identity is
really
safe, I don't
think,
care.
You really think this is going badly for me?
I didn't say that. I just said you're having a meltdown.
No, I'm not.
It makes me, quite frankly, okay.
I
It
promise
makes
you.
sure this is making me look bad.
Yes.
This is making me look bad. But you know what? If anyone ever found, if everyone comes to me and says, "How could you? You're an idiot," whatever. I'll still stand by my beliefs.
Yeah, your
you know?
beliefs that are based
That's
on
why
nothing.
I agreed to do this.
Your beliefs that are based on nothing.
Like I said, I didn't have time to plan. And in fact, I even
Okay,
said to you originally,
but you just
hey,
again.
I said
This
to
is
you
my
on Twitter,
final
go
my
quote
final
the tweet.
statement
I
here.
said to you
I
on
have a
Twitter.
final statement.
Okay.
You ready?
Sure.
You did not have time to plan, to figure out what you were going to say about why you hate trans people, why you want to eradicate these things, etc. You did not have time to prepare those arguments. Okay, I can acknowledge that I did not give you a lot of time to prepare those arguments. Here's
didn't.
what I'm going. No, but here's what I'm going to say. You believe these things despite not looking into them much, and that is disgusting. You believe in the eradication of trans healthcare. You believe that trans people are harming society. You believe that we're making the world worse. And you don't know why you believe it because you haven't done the research. And that is on you. It's not, Ember didn't give me time to research this. It's you came to a conclusion being pro-DeSantis, being anti-gay, being anti-trans, being anti-woke. You came to that conclusion without doing your own research. And then when I ask you to back up what you're saying, you say, I haven't done the research. Yeah, that's the problem. You haven't done the research, and you still stepped up and said you were going to crush me, and you still stepped up and said that you stand by your beliefs, despite not knowing jack shit. You know nothing. I'm scared that you are a voter, and I need you to try to reevaluate your beliefs when we're done here, because you came to a conclusion without knowing why you came to it. That's ignorance. That's harming the world. Not me. You're doing that. You came to a conclusion without doing any research at all. You believed memes from people like Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro and fucking Michael Knowles.
Interesting that we couldn't even get to the slut aspect of it. That's the interesting
what?
part. We
The
were so
what?
focused on the slut aspect of it. It was so interesting.
The slut aspect of it?
No, not transgender people. Let me make that clear. I'm talking about you.
You're just gonna call me a slut?
Let's talk about you. It's in your Twitter bio. I'm not calling you a slut.
That is correct. That it is.
Yourself.
You sound pretty triggered.
So let me ask
Who's
you
having
something.
a meltdown right now?
No. No, I don't. I'm simply
over the word
what I'm
slut.
simply saying is what I'm simply saying is, do you think it's okay for women to openly be promiscuous?
Yes.
Okay. You want to debate that, or?
It's the same reason why I think it's okay for people to be trans. It's because it's not hurting anybody.
I'm willing to come back on. You have my Discord, right? Whatever
No,
you want
I just answered. That's my answer. It's the same reason I believe that trans people can have the right to exist. It's because I don't think it's hurting anybody.
How is it not hurting? Okay, if there's a wife
who
and a
has
husband,
women
right?
being slutty killed?
If a wife has a woman, or if a wife has a husband and they have 2 children, do you know? And she cheats, or he cheats even.
Whoa! We're not talking about cheating. We're not talking about cheating. We're not talking about cheating. Do you think slut means cheater?
Okay, no. I think
we're not talking about cheating.
Slut, right?
We're talking about sex positivity. I think it's okay for people to be sex positive.
No.
You just say no, but you don't know why you're saying no. You're just saying no
believe-
because you think that's what you're supposed to say.
No, that's not what I'm supposed to say. I strongly believe that.
You strongly believe it based on what? Nothing.
No. I could give you an example right now, but I'm gonna have to get personal.
Okay.
I could give you an example right now. Sure. So my mom and dad cheated on. My mom cheated on my dad.
Your mom is making for a weaker society.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious. Other times it can be more obscure or esoteric, especially when certain elements can only be recognized as foreshadowing after the fact, when readers have more information with which to contextualize and make sense of what happened earlier.
I don't think that cheating's good. I think it's very bad.
And they got divorced, and it killed me. And also in her, my dad was telling me, and I actually asked my mom, and she admitted it. In her 20s and 30s, she was sleeping around.
Yeah, but not all people who are sex positive
or
or promiscuous, not all people who are like that are cheaters. You're taking your experience as an anecdote and applying it to everybody who's ever been sex positive. That's nonsense.
All right. I'm not gonna,
you don't think everyone else here has been in a bad relationship at some point?
Oh, of course, everyone has. I've been in a bad relationship.
Tons of people have. It doesn't mean you apply that experience to every person who's even remotely similar. That's what incels do. They have a bad relationship, or they have a bad experience with one woman, and then they're just like, oh, women bad. You're saying, oh, I had a bad experience with my mom cheating on my dad because she was promiscuous in her 20s or whatever, and so I'm going to apply that to every woman who's ever been sex positive. That's fucking nonsense.
That's not what I'm doing. You see why You see why I didn't want to give a real life example? Because you would simply just turn it around. And flip
It's not
to your
turn it around.
narrative.
You said that you have a problem with women being promiscuous, and I said why, and you said, well, cheaters.
Yeah.
But they're not the same thing.
And also, women can get pregnant, right? As well.
Birth
And,
control exists.
But also, men are typically less attractive to promiscuous women.
What?
You know, and women are.
Wait, what are you saying?
I don't
What are
know
you
many
saying?
men
Less
that are-
attractive or
I'm
less
saying
attracted?
men- No, men are less attracted to promiscuous women.
That's not true.
Very less attracted.
Do you know how many
Substantially-
OnlyFans
really,
models
could you-
have men fucking crawling at their feet?
Yeah, but those are incels. Like those aren't real
Not
men.
in all cases. Those are people who can actually get women.
Do you have examples? Please, if you want me to come with statistics, you got to come with statistics on it. Please.
There are no statistics. You used an anecdote. I threw an anecdote back at you, and you're
promiscuous?
asking me for stats?
Yeah.
Dude, do you hear yourself? You said an
Yeah, I do.
anecdote about your mom, and I said, okay, here's an anecdote about OnlyFans people, and you were like, source?
But you said these men are able to pull women in real life, and I said, okay, provide.
Wait, whoa.
Yeah. No. Men are able to provide, or men that are able to pull.
There
women,
are men in the
Okay.
world
Right.
who are married to women who still are attracted to OnlyFans models. They pulled a woman and they still like them. And some of them even pay for that stuff behind their wives' backs. That's not so good, though.
Sad.
It's sad.
Sad.
But
No,
it's a
it's sad.
thing.
Sad.
But it's a thing that happens in reality, which means that they're able to pull women, and also they like slutty people sometimes. And I use slutty as a term of endearment.
But why do you celebrate that in your Twitter bio? That's
I don't think it's a big deal. I hope you know that that's kind of a joke.
Is it though? I've been following you since I think 2022, and I very vividly remember seeing pictures about how Spider-Gwen is hot or whatever. Like it's weird. That's all I'm saying. It's weird. And how Spider-Gwen is trans.
Okay, I'm asking you a
she's
question.
voiced by
Well,
a
she
female
has a
actress.
trans flag, but I digress.
Biological female.
She has a trans
Okay,
flag.
but she's voiced by a female. She's voiced by a female actress.
Okay.
Biological female.
And also,
actress.
the actress in question
she-
also called her hot, so. Oops. You could
could
think
explain
she's
that to me.
weird. Who knows? Maybe she is trans. Ooh, you never know. They're everywhere.
No, she's not. Dude, it's no, she's not. How is she like?
Dude, I'm making fun of you right now. I'm making fun of you.
I could sense
The well
it.
is dry. You're
All
talking
right,
about the word slut in my bio as if that's like some world bending thing.
Gotcha. No, it's not. It's just disgusting. Stand by it.
Okay, but what does this have to do with anything? This has nothing to do with policy.
You wanted to debate
It's
me
vibes.
on a wide variety of things.
It's all
No, it's
vibes
not.
with you, though.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Okay, give me one non-vibes based thing that you believe in.
Give me a second to think about it. I'm a slow thinker. What can I say? I know. Not very entertaining. Funny. Okay, one thing that isn't vibe based, easily the divorce in America. 50% of divorces are 50% of marriages end in divorce in America.
Yeah, do you know what I
That's a
believe in
statistic.
for
Look it up.
fixing that? Do you know what I'm actually in favor of in relationships?
Do you believe in Ember? Do you believe in
Open, healthy communication between couples. Talking things out before they get
that's such
married.
bullshit. That's such fucking bullshit.
Do you know how
No.
many relationships have horrible
No.
communication? Do you know how many have horrible communication?
See, that's going off of vibes. That's going off of vibes.
Well, yes,
That
because
is purely
every
going off of
relationship
vibes.
is different. It is vibes because every relationship is different.
Not true.
Well, also, a
It's
lot
that
of
they
people
were not
cheat.
meant-
That's a problem. I don't want people to cheat.
Yeah,
but
of
this
course.
isn't. But this isn't a systemic issue. The only thing systemic is divorces that end because of poverty, and I want to fix that. That's why I vote for Democrats.
What the fuck? The divorces.
Do you know how many divorces
Nah.
are because of fucking money issues?
Please tell me. Please enlighten me. You've been enlightening me.
I can give you a
lots
stat
of
on that one
number.
if you want
Please
one.
enlighten me.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go.
Percentage of divorces due to finances. 20 to 40% of all divorces. For every 10 marriages that end in divorce, 4 of them are because of money.
So what's your solution for? I'm genuinely listening on this.
A better
right? We don't
labor
agree on the
movement,
LGBT
worker-owned
issue.
co-ops, better unions, a
agree
higher
with that.
living wage, making sure people are housed, so there's no arguments about rent among couples.
See, the only thing I
Universal health care, so there's no health care bills that they need to worry
Yeah.
about if they get sick.
We never disagreed on universal health care, though, did we?
But you vote for
Except
people
the
who don't believe in
transition.
it. I vote for people who do believe in it. If you're so worried about divorces, then why don't you vote for people who want to make sure people have money so that there's less divorces?
Because politicians, all to a degree, are fucking corrupt.
Yeah, but some of them do better
That's why
than
I didn't
others.
vote,
There's a
right?
thriving labor revolution happening right
never
now
voted
because of Joe
for-
Biden's National Labor Relations Board.
Yeah, but man, he's really competent, right? We could get into that.
No,
too.
I don't like Joe Biden, but that's one good thing he's doing.
Yeah.
He's strengthening unions.
But is he doing it, or is Kamala Harris doing it?
I don't care who's doing it because I'm not on a team. I don't care who's doing it as long as
I'm
it's
not on
being
the team
done.
either.
I don't give a fuck. If Kamala's doing
I'm
it,
not on the
great,
team either.
based.
Cool.
What are you asking here? I'm talking about policy. Hey, look, Joe Biden's strengthening unions in most situations, and you're like, well, is it him or
that's
Kamala?
great.
I don't care who it is.
That's great. Great, you know?
You said you're worried about divorce.
great.
I
Yeah.
said, here's some solutions to divorce because a lot of divorces are because of money, and you're like, well, I'm still going to vote for DeSantis even though he does not give a fuck about poverty.
See, now.
Because he
I
talked
highly
about
doubt that. A lot of
Ghostbusters or
a
some
lot of
shit.
divorce- No, a lot of divorces do not end because of poverty. I
Just
know
gave,
that,
okay,
right?
give me a statistic.
That's-
Give me a statistic.
Like I said, I would
If you don't
to
have
look
one, I
into
can
it
hang
'cause
up
I've
right
never
now.
Actually... Okay, hang up. Like
All right.
I'm willing to come back.
If it's
though.
Joever,
I'm
it's
willing to
Joever. I
come
mean,
back.
listen, if you don't have a statistic
No,
to tell me
listen.
that
Wait,
there's
let
not
me-
a lot of divorces because of fucking finances, which is a well-known phenomenon, by the way, that a lot of divorces end because of fucking money problems.
Let me end this here, right? I'm willing to come back on with statistics, and I'm willing to even admit where I went wrong.
Dude, I'm
How does
scared
that
to bring
sound?
you back
How
on
does that sound?
because it's like talking
Why?
to a wall.
Because you don't want me to actually have a debate with statistics. That's why.
You said you would today, and then you failed. Why would I give you a second chance? I don't need to. I won.
I know this is the ego thing for you.
It's not an
see.
ego thing. I care about policy substance, and you don't.
I care about the future of America and
If
America
you
for
actually did,
generations.
you would vote for leftists.
You know what? I'll tell you. I and you could. I know you can upload this to YouTube. Yeah, you have video editing software, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I'm going to not send you a video, but I'm going to write you a essay explaining what I
Dude,
think
I'm not
about
putting your
America
fucking
and the
essay
future
in
of
my
America.
video. Calm down.
Okay, because you don't want me to
Fucking
come
Jordan
back
Peterson over
combat
here.
you in any way. Dude, I don't even fully agree with Jordan Peterson's views, right? So,
Dude, I'm
it's
saying
not
you're
even-
being a nerd right now. We're talking about policy and you had nothing, and you lost the debate. You can't come back later and be like, oh, but I actually...
Yeah, because you don't want me to come back with statistics. That's the problem.
Dude, if you had them, you have them. You don't. You're gonna print that
Yeah,
essay and I'm
I
not gonna
did
do
have-
shit with it because I already won the debate. You said on Twitter, and I'll put it on screen
this
right
is it,
now,
this is it.
hey, I'm going to
Okay.
bring the statistics and crush you, and then you didn't. You lost. You said it would be an easy win, and you lost. And it's embarrassing, but I hope you learn from it. I hope that you learn that, hey, maybe before I come to a conclusion on policy, and
You
before I
could
come
make
to
the
a
argument that
conclusion
the shit
on
you
a
put on
politician that
Twitter
I
is
actually
embarrassing.
support, I should do my research before I come to that conclusion. And maybe you'll come to the
Dude,
right conclusion, which
yeah.
is that trans people are fucking based. That'd be pretty neat.
Okay, man.
Character
Okay, yep.
development.
Yep. So that's gonna happen. Yeah, I'll
I mean,
DM
if you actually
and,
looked into it, you'd find
suck
out
your
that you're
dick, man,
wrong
yeah.
because you're not being paid to believe what you believe. You're ignorant. Get to know some trans people. Ask them the questions that you have, and maybe you'll come to a better conclusion.
Trans people. In high school, in college, I knew trans people.
In high school, in college.
And I
What,
didn't
a
agree
year
with their
ago?
beliefs. A little less than that, actually.
A little. Dude, you're talking about
college,
Ghostbusters 2016. You need to grow up. There's more important things in the world than fucking Ghostbusters and Black Ariel and LGBT people putting up a flag in a school. There's really important shit going on in the world. Like you said, divorces are happening. I want to fix that. Poverty, I want to fix that. Universal healthcare, I vote for people who believe in universal healthcare. Unlike you, if you actually believed in it, you would vote for the right people. But you don't. You're fucking... You're ideologyless. You have nothing.
You're having a meltdown right there. You're right.
I'm not having a meltdown. I'm right.
You are.
I'm correct.
You are. This is like some kind of victory
Dude,
for you. It's like
your ideology is based on a fucking Ghostbusters movie. You think
No, it
I'm
isn't.
having the meltdown? You're triggered to the point of voting for Ron DeSantis because Ariel has melanin. Calm the fuck down, bro. You're like a baby.
Not really.
Okay.
I don't know.
Later.
You're acting
Dude,
like
I
one
already
right now.
won the
You're
debate.
okay.
There's nothing to talk about. If you don't have anything to talk about, then you have nothing. You don't have any stats. You don't have any facts. You have nothing. You have feelings. I'm not interested in that.
Oh. I'm willing to come back on with statistics.
I'm not
but
willing
know
to
what?
have you
That's
back on
fine.
because you should have been
you
prepared
have an
this
agenda.
time.
No,
I talked to you for 2 hours.
No, because you have an agenda. That's
I don't
all it
have an
comes down to.
agenda. You know what I do have? I have Discord messages where I
Wait.
said, getting my stream set up. I'll bring you on once things get rolling. Then you said, no, I want to talk to you first. I said, okay, let's talk for a second. And then you said, eating now. I'll be ready in about 12 minutes. So call me after you're done setting up. Then you said,
I mean,
ready to go.
yeah,
Call me now or soon.
What are you exposing here?
Well, I asked
I
you
don't
in
get
one
it.
of my Discord messages, I actually did ask you, do you need time to prep or something? I gave you multiple opportunities to prep, and you chose not to because you were arrogant and overly confident in your beliefs, and you were like, I got this in the bag. You didn't know who you were fucking with. And I'm sorry about that. But now you know.
Well,
So
I knew
we're
I was-
done.
well, I was
We're gonna
talking
end the
with- I knew I was
conversation.
talking with the
But
men-
now you
I knew I was
know.
talking with
Now
the
you know
mental
what
health
you did
person.
wrong, and moving forward, maybe you'll do better.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll do good. Okay?
All right, man. Well, keep believing what you want to believe, and I'll believe what I want to believe.
It's Joever. We're done with that one. I am very happy with how that went. Genuinely. I handled myself impeccably. That was my first debate ever, and I fucking crushed. Ain't no stopping me. That was... Dude, I'm actually genuinely really happy with that stream. That was a great stream. 2 hours of just me, like, dismantling the fucker. All right. No, it's okay. I'm going to upload this one publicly. It's not going to be behind a paywall. This one's going to be on my channel. I promise. That was wild. Iconic M-Bar W. All right. I'm going to go because my voice is completely shot still. And I can finish this level. Oh, yeah, I should finish the level. I've been just running around the level because I had nothing else to do. I'm going to finish this level in Marble, and then I'm going to end the stream. But I'm very... the slut aspect. Dude, that shit had me dying. We forgot to talk about the slut aspect. This is called Marble It Up Ultra, this game. There we go. I didn't read chat much, but when I go through and edit this, I'll obviously look at what you guys were saying during the debate. Yeah, he was desperate at the end when he brought up the Gwen thing, for sure. That was really funny. Because again, I was so policy focused. I was like, voting, bills. And he's like, slut in bio. Like, what? At that point, I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? It was fun, though. I had a really good time because, you know, I said, like, a lot of these people on Twitter, they'll say these things and, you know, they'll feel real confident in what they're saying. But a lot of times you'll see these conservatives, they're scared to go up against a leftist who knows what they're talking about, who, like, actually understands policy, at least a little bit. I'm not, like, a professional, but I know things. And so, like, again, I said on Twitter, it crumbles with the slightest bit of pressure. And I posted the meme, and I'm going to show it on screen right now before I log out, because it is so funny. That's what we're ending on, because that's what happened. I called it from the beginning. That was the entire stream in a nutshell. Me, the hydrogen bomb, Oppenheimer, absolutely. And we had Who is Jay? He's the coughing baby. I'm happy with how that went. And yeah, Ember versus the jerk dick. That was fun. That was maybe one of my best streams. It's going to be a great highlight. Obviously, everyone who's new here, even if you hate me, like, I'm fully willing to talk to you. I'll debate you. I don't care. Come at me, bro. And anyone who actually likes me, likes what I had to say today, you can go to emberonmain.com, which is at the bottom of the screen now. Right at the bottom right. You can go to that website. It has all my links. It has my Discord server, everything. So I'm going to be uploading this as a highlight to the YouTube channel. And yeah, if you're on the YouTube channel right now watching, like, subscribe, etc. This is a, Twitch highlight, so you can follow me on Twitch if you want to catch these things live. I'll probably upload it to Twitch too. But yeah, all in all, really good debate, really good day. I'll be talking about it on the Discord server. Let's all debate the slut aspect. Yeah. All right, later, guys. Love ya, and be well. Mwah.